Hey, hello everybody. Jay Real here, and I'm joined by Brandon. What you got there, Brandon? Oh, you got you a beer. I don't have beer. I'd love to have some beer right now. You got me wanting beer. I went
It this
for
is a
10 years. I
German
want beer. Now I want beer.
this is a German bill. Polynir Savalator or whatever.
Is it a pumpkin beer?
This one isn't, but I got one of the Oktoberfest beers. I bought like a variety pack.
Nice.
But anyway, let
But
me introduce you. We got Brandon and we got Mr. Mormo of Mormozine. He has his own channel and he's an artist. You guys got to go join Mormozine because he's got some really cool artwork that he does. He does it on these cards and really good stuff. And he did one that he posted the other day that I want already.
yeah, me too. It's badass, man.
But
Like
hang
you should
on.
try. You should try to sell them as posters though, because that should be badass.
Yeah,
But
I maybe could. It's an unusual size. It's
Yeah.
3 inches by 3 inches, not like my normal art card size.
Yeah.
and we're joined by my sister Kathy.
Hey y'all. If I get too loud, let me know. When I do the watchbacks, I'm like, oh my God. I sound like I'm in a tunnel screaming at y'all. But I turned
You're
my
you're a little loud, but I don't think it's annoying loud. So.
no, I'm always annoying loud. Hi
Um,
Brandon. Hi Mormo.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you.
and
Yeah,
Marmo,
you too.
Marmo, this is my sister Kat. Well, I think you've met Kathy. She joined your channel.
Well, we
Yeah,
did.
we met.
Yeah, we talked back and forth. I didn't, but face to face, here I am.
Nice.
Yeah. Happy
And
birthday,
happy birthday,
Joe.
Jay.
Well, that's
Happy
something. Yeah,
birthday.
I haven't said that yet, but yeah, today is my birthday. I'm
Yeah.
60 goddamn years old today. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that that number doesn't register as a correct number to me. 60. My God.
That's a
But
big one.
yeah, and I just thought, well, since I'm turning 60, why not do a show? And this is basically just a hangout show. I got a few things I want to talk about, and any Brandon, Mormo, Kathy, anything that y'all want to talk
I
about.
got pictures.
And got a couple of comments. Brutal Impact, thank you, Brutal, and thank you, Texas. Texas is here. Hey, Texas,
Hi, Texas.
and
I think I might
uh,
need to turn my phone long ways. Is that what I'm doing wrong?
you can do it. Yeah, you'll
Because I'm in a little box.
you'll fill up the screen if you do it that way.
Yeah, I just want to. Okay.
Uh, but yeah, we're hanging out. We'll see if anyone else joins us. That would be nice. But we've already got a nice crowd going here.
It didn't work. I'm upside down.
He's
That's okay.
sideways.
Look,
Yeah,
I'm standing on my head.
it's not a big deal though, sis.
No, I didn't think so.
Uh, and Texas, hey Kathy.
Hi.
Thomas Swafford's here. Thank you, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Uh, and yeah, this is just basically a hangout on my birthday show. We do the hangout shows. Usually, I do that with Kathy during the midday shows. But I thought, well, since it's my birthday and I'm 60 goddamn years old, uh, we'll do a hangout show tonight and just talk about whatever comes to mind. I've got a few things, and I got a birthday present, and I've already got it hooked up. So, but I'll show you the box.
Right
I want
on.
I want my birthday show this coming April. I'll be the 7-0.
7-0. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And Brandon sent,
Oh,
Brandon sent me this. It is a Retro Life suitcase record player,
it's a good one.
and
Nice.
I've got probably over 100 vinyl records that I've been saving for like 30, 40 years or longer. And I used to have a big setup. I used to have a Technics turntable and a receiver and a tape deck, a cassette tape deck. Used to have a real nice setup. And then just over the years, they just started to, and when CDs came out, I just stopped buying vinyl and just, got to where I just didn't have any way to play them anymore. And now that vinyl's kind of made a resurgence, you can go to Walmart now. They've got a big vinyl section now. And I want to listen to my records, and Brandon bought me a record player. So now I can listen to my records. And I'll show you some of the records I've been listening to here in a little bit. I've got such a huge collection, but I've been trying to do a deep dive into stuff that, I ordinarily wouldn't, listen to.
That's the thing about when we go to half price books, like we'll find the weirdest shit. And like, I don't know, some of the stuff is cool. Like I didn't know that I would like Beethoven's, whatever the hell it was, but it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Y'all want to see Jay's afro?
Oh yeah, Karen Black thought he was. What did Karen Black ask you? She asked if you were black or something.
She asked if one of my parents was black.
We can get him on there.
But because of my red afro.
He's a second from the end. Look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
It's bushy, ain't it? And that's our mom and dad next to him. It's kind of hard to see, but when I ran across this picture the other day, I thought, ooh, Jay's got the biggest afro. And then when I knew we was doing a show, I said, oh no, I got to show Jay's big old afro. Because I think it looked pretty good myself.
Well, Thomas asked me, no cake, no Thomas. I tried both my neighbors to see if they were going to go to town today, and neither one of them was going to town. I was wanting to get, because my tradition is for my birthday, have cake and ice cream.
Yeah. But
I didn't get to have cake and ice cream today. So maybe tomorrow I'll have I'll celebrate it late. But no, I didn't have cake today. And Brutal says, Thomas says you can DJ to the oldies. Yep. And now I can listen to those satanic. Yeah, you have to run it backwards for the satanic message.
Oh yeah, Texas.
Britney Spears albums actually have quite a bit of satanic shit in there if you play them backwards, believe it or not.
She done lost her mind these days, ain't she, y'all?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if you play them backwards, you'll hear some trippy shit.
I got a big teddy bear from my boyfriend when I was 14, and Jay said, I want my picture in front of the tree with Kathy's bear too. So me and him got in front of the tree. He was 9.
That's a big ass bear. That's like the size of a person.
I know. And I thought when he brought that box in, I think I was 14. I said, Cyril, what's in that box? He said, it's your birthday, your Christmas present. And I went all the way to Waco to get that. And that was, I said, well, thank you. And I had that bear for years and years till my parents moved. And then I lost it. But anyway, and then here he is sorry, y'all, I'm trying to get it better. Here he is with his great niece and nephew in front of shoot, y'all. It's hard to do these. Can you see it at all?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They're in front of a van?
Yeah, the Jeep. My daughter and son-in-law rented a Jeep to go see Jay. There we go. If I look at it in the small picture, I can see it better.
Yeah.
There you go. And that was several years ago because on the right-hand side is a little boy, and he's about to be 13. So it's an old picture. He's a little bitty guy there. But I thought
that Thomas posted there. What is that? I can't
tell.
I can't tell what that is.
We're all. I don't know. I can't speak for Mormon, but I know me and Jay are pretty nearsighted. I can't tell what that's a balloon, maybe.
I'm extremely nearsighted. Speaking of Mormo, you've been submitting your artwork to an art exhibit. Can you explain what that is and when is that coming up?
Yeah, it's next month's gallery show, and it's called the 3x3 show. It's basically a Post-it note size piece of art, and you have to do 10 of them in order to be part of the show. And I think they're due by the 27th. I've done 5 out of 10. And they just put up all the little pieces of art, and then people can buy them for $5 a piece. And the gallery will split it with you, or you can just donate the money to the gallery. I haven't decided which way I'm going to go on that, but it's a really fun show. And just today I did my 5th piece, and tonight I'm going to upload another time-lapse video.
Sounds good. I really enjoyed looking at some of your past shows where you've shown some of your cards.
I didn't know if
yeah.
you've seen it, Kathy, but he posted one recently where he does a sped up.
I watched it.
Yeah, but where he's someone getting shot with a gun, and when he finished that, I said, "Man, I want that. I want that card." So.
Yeah, that was really bad timing on my part.
Oh,
it seems like
I was about to say, I showed that artwork to my coworker, and she thought it was Charlie Kirk. And I was like, no, I think that's the police. I think it's the police getting cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like we might be on Civil War or something, so it was not a smart time for me to choose to do violent art, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's, there's stuff going on everywhere. Mormo, you can't just stop doing what you're doing because 2 kids got shot in Colorado. Apparently they pulled through. One's still critical at that school up there. They say it was just a few miles from Columbine. And I'm like, oh, have mercy on this crazy world. My granddaughter, Dot, I went and had lunch with Grandparents' Day with her a couple of days ago, yesterday. But anyway, she's 10. She'll be 11th on the 18th of this month. Well, anyway, they've already had a lockdown at their school, and she thought it was just a drill. But they email the parents when anything unusual happens. They text them at school a link. There was gunfire 2 streets from their school, and they said at first they thought it was a car backfiring, but it repeated a few times. And of course, this is a smaller suburb, and so they put the school in lockdown. And I said, we know if anything else, that's good practice. You know what I mean? But of course, nobody at the school got approached. But when I went up there, mercy at the red tape to get in the building and to get out. And I'm like, yes, thank you. You go through, you can't even open the first door to get in without showing your ID to a camera and waiting for them to say, okay, you can come in, and they buzz and let you in. So I'm like, yes, thank you. Thank you for protecting me.
I think we were all born at the right time. I feel horrible for the kids growing up today.
People are crazy. I remember when I was working at Clayton Homes, one of my coworkers, he had a fender bender, and he was going to go give his insurance to the dude, and the guy pulled a gun on him, and it was a big crazy thing over a little bump. Like, it wasn't even no damage, but people are crazy. That's why, it's you never know. I'm not against guns, but at the same time, it's like, why does America have this problem, but you don't have it in Canada or Australia where they have guns and shit?
Well, I will tell you that I am just scared to death of guns, because my daddy had a couple of shotguns. Daddy always had a shotgun, and then I think he would occasionally go deer hunting with some friends or something, or dove hunting, that kind of thing.
He would go bird hunting, Jay, but he only went. Yeah, that's it. He couldn't. He said he can't. He went deer hunting one time with our uncle, and he said never again.
Yeah. But anyway, I've always been just really afraid of guns. And anyone that's seen my movie Dawn, at the end of the movie, the sheriff comes upon the father has just killed his daughter. The father has just shot his daughter, and he's got a gun to his own head. He's about to kill himself. And the sheriff comes up, and he pulls his gun on Ray Boucher played the father, and he pulls his gun on him and points it at the camera. Well, I'm standing behind the camera. I said, well, point the gun at me for reference. But it was a real fucking gun. And it just chilled my bones to have this gun pointed at me. You know, when you watch the movie, you just think of me behind the camera just shitting my pants because I've got this gun pointed at me. He showed me that it was unloaded. He took the barrel off, showed me that the barrel is Jay, it's unloaded. It's, okay. But God, that's just guns. Because think about it. The only reason why a gun exists is to kill. That's why guns exist. They exist to kill.
Well, yeah.
You know,
It started out, Jay, being for people to shoot animals in the wilderness and provide for their family. That's why,
But I understand though, because I have a coworker and she has a concealed carry, and just because, like, as a woman, you don't really want to have because there's a lot of bad dudes out there too. You don't want someone to like rape you or attack you, so you got to have. I think it's an American thing too, because you don't really hear about that in other countries that have guns. It's kind of like the U.S. is the one that has all the shootings and all that shit. I think we might have the highest murder and shit too compared to other
Uncle Bill
countries.
in the chat.
No, what's that, sir?
Uncle Bill is in the chat.
Hey, Uncle Bill.
Hi, Uncle Bill.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's been a nice one. It's been a nice one.
Jay, I was wondering when we went to Walmart that time, they had the Rust DVD, and nobody bought that shit. You think that's because the shooting controversy with Alec Baldwin and them, or
Probably. I would think so.
probably because all the DVDs you could tell people were like picking them out, but that one was like filled to the brim.
Yeah.
And even I thought about buying it, and I was like, I don't know.
What's
And
up,
Uncle
Cool
Bill, if you're
Dave?
still there, if you want to join us, let me put a message there. I can put the link where you can join us there if you want to. Be nice for you to hang out with us. But
Who is that? Cooler?
and it's shout out to Mormo.
Do you know him?
You know who that is, Mormo?
Yeah, he's cool.
Hey, cool. Well, yeah, he's cooler.
Hell yeah.
But since we're harkening back, and Kathy's showing pictures of me, here's one I found.
Best I could.
Now
Oh, is that your army?
here's me with Mama in front of Mama, and I'm wearing my G.I. Joe jumpsuit, and I've got one of them big, long, like frozen popsicle things. That's what it is that I'm holding up.
Nice.
And that was our house down by the lake.
Yeah, and that's my G.I. Joe
Aren't you cute?
suit there. So there.
When my grandkids, like I said, they're almost 11, and about in April will be 13 for the boy. And anyway, when they would come, or right after Mama passed away, my daughter would come and get him for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then take him back. But y'all, if we hit the road, and we would always stop at Buc-ee's on the way there and back. But if we hit the road, it's a solid 2-hour drive to get Jay and to take him home. I don't have a car anymore. My car got totaled. I got a settlement, but not enough to get another vehicle, and I am not getting under car payments. But yeah, he's just a ways away. I told him he could rent me a car, and I'd come see him, but I can't afford to.
Johnny's Boutique Podcast.
Hi.
How y'all doing tonight? Yeah, well, doing pretty good. It's my birthday, Johnny, and we're hanging out. And,
Reminiscing.
Okay, now this picture, let's say this was around 55 years ago, and here's me with my birthday cake.
Oh, that's a really good picture.
And
That's showing up good.
the cake is like a covered wagon and horses, and yeah, that's what the cake is.
Is that your fifth one? Fifth birthday?
I look about 5 years old there. No,
yeah,
I don't
you
know.
do.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
There's no year on it that I can see. So I'm going to guess I was about 5 there.
Yeah.
So,
That
With the
fiery
cover-
red hair.
Yeah, man.
yeah.
I always like looking at old pictures, man. That's cool.
I do too. I always have, even since when I was a little kid. I'd go to Mama would take me to
Yeah.
visit somebody, and I would say, "Can I look at that?" And they say, "What? That picture of them?" Yeah,
Okay. Well, now here we go.
Uh oh.
Yeah.
Well, when I was born without muscles in my eyes where I could open my eyes. So in order to see, I had to do this number here. So my eyelids would fall open. So here I am as a baby.
Yeah, I think you were a year old there. It was before. I mean, you were just started, just kind of set up. See, they got stuff behind him. And you had your surgery at 2 when you were 2 years.
Uh,
And that hospital was so cool, y'all. It had a room where an entire wall had enclosed bees you could watch. Bees now doing their own thing.
oh my God, sister. I remember those bees.
Yeah. And it was a big wall.
I remember that. You bringing that up. Oh my God.
See?
I forgot about the bees until you brought up the bees. And I remember that it was a glass.
Yeah.
Was
And it was
wall,
big.
and there
Yeah.
was like this enclosure that
Yeah.
you could watch the bees.
Yep.
I remember that. Oh my God.
It was a 5 foot by 5 foot. And my grandkids, when they were little, would call him Giggles or Giggle, no S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The outside cats, they call me Giggle now.
Do they? Well, I've never heard not every one of them talk, but if they're talking, Jay,
Yeah, they call me Giggle. And if
listen
I
to-
go outside, when I feed them in the morning, I said, "Yeah, okay, come on, Giggle's gonna feed you." And,
Yeah. yeah.
But,
Well, there's money in talking critters, so I'm just saying.
But I remember one of my favorite Christmas presents was, and this was a big deal back in the day. Big wheel.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
There I am with my big wheel. Can you
Hell
see
yeah.
that? Yeah. There I am with my big wheel. So.
And he bought one for the grandkids one Christmas. I think John was 3 and Dot was 2.
Because I was harkening back, I said, I want to give John a big wheel, but he was still a little bit little for
He
the
was a
big
little short.
wheel. A little short for it, yeah.
But
His
he
legs
grew,
were quite-
yeah, he grew into it and rode the pudding out of it. And about the time he quit riding it, as he got a little older, his little sister got big enough to ride it. We had that big wheel, Jay, for at least 6-7 years.
Okay, well, now the only grandparent I ever knew was my mama's mama, Nanny. We called her Nanny. And I only ever knew her in the nursing home. I never saw her. I never remember her outside of the nursing home. So to go visit Nanny, we always had to go to the nursing home in Maya. And so here's me with
Nanny.
Nanny.
Yeah, I don't think it was Alzheimer's she had, but she had a couple of strokes. And they say, you can't live alone a lot of times. You need help. So that's when they put her in the nursing home. She passed away when I was a freshman in high school.
Mormo, do you mind me asking how old you are, sir?
I'm 47. I turned 47 this year.
Okay.
That's good, man. Well, you're a ways from 50,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you that 60 in my case doesn't feel like 60.
Nah.
Because I try to get, quite a bit of exercise. I walk and I do, weightlifting and
Well,
calisthenics and that
you're-
kind of stuff.
You're in, I hate to say it, but at 60, you're in better shape than some people I know in their 30s, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like
but
a lot of
I,
bad habits get people.
I don't feel 60. I don't. If I'm going to age myself, I think I feel 35, 40 maybe.
Yeah, 40. I'd give you a 40. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't, 60 is just unbelievable to me. That number just, I know it's true, but it just seems unbelievable.
You know how it is. If you don't mind, it don't matter. That's how I wake up every morning. And I'm like, I should walk slower. And our first cousin's like 73. She lives in East Texas, but we talk like 2 or 3 times a week. And I said, Joy, I tend to walk slower. I got a bad back, but it's not because of that. I tend to walk slower. She said, yeah, me too. Sean. Hello, Sean. Hello, Bruno Impact.
Yeah, can you show us He-Man?
Oh, he ran off.
Oh, okay.
Aw,
He was on panel for a couple minutes.
I
but-
seen him.
I missed it because I
He's
was
pretty.
distracted, but I
He's a
missed
pretty
it.
kitty.
Okay, Kathy, do you remember the name of this restaurant? It was in my head, and then here I'm sucking on a soda. You got you a Dr. Pepper. You're
Yeah,
at-
that was after one of my band concerts. It was there at the circle where the drilling rig is.
Uh-huh.
That's where it was. And all I remember was that it was called the Mexican plate. And
Huh.
Daddy would say, y'all want to go Mexican plate? Or Spunky's, which was, on the other side of the circle as we was going out towards our highway.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So that was the Mexican plate.
And I remember so clearly that they had a little glass with some water, and it was, remember those birds that would
You
duck-
can still get them, Jay.
yeah, they would
Drinking
duck-
birds, they call them.
and it was like this red liquid, and it would rise up the glass, the kind of cylindrical thing, and it had a little bird's head, and it would duck its head in the water. And they had one of those at that restaurant, and I wanted one so bad, and Daddy bought me one at that
There
restaurant.
you go. It would drink anything. You know what I mean?
But
Jay, I got a story I'm gonna tell on you. When we was running the marina, and I grew up going and helping Daddy run the concession stand. He managed the concession stand, rent shelters, campground, all that. So he's always busy. And it was one of those when I got old enough to run the register, he said, I need you to come over, sis, and help me clean up. We got a game room out front. He knows where I'm going, I bet. Anyway, so I said, yeah, Daddy. He said, go out there and clean up that game room. And I went out there and cleaned up the game room. And we had Jay, he was 4. And he said, well, see what Jay's doing out there. He's out there. And I said, okay. And I went out there to check on him. And I said, Jay, and there was a lady there. We had one of those rockets where you get in the rocket and put the quarters in, or dimes in. You remember? Or dimes, and it would go around and around, kind of jankety. But the kids loved it. All right. So I go out there, and the lady's standing there putting dimes in it, so they keep going, right? And I said, Jay, and he's up in the cone. He has crawled up in the cone and let that lady's kid sit in the seat, and he's getting free rides. And I went in there. I said, Daddy, he's up in the cone. And was anybody on the ride? Oh, yeah, there's a lady out there feeding quarters for her little girl to ride. Daddy went out there and said, boy, you better get out of there. But it was the funniest thing. Jay got smart, Jack. He figured out how to get him some free rides. Oh, it was funny. And we had pinball machines. We had a duck shooting game.
had the horse that would rock. You'd get on the horse. And
and it would go back and forth. Big old brown horse, and it'd go back and forth. And then a jukebox. And Daddy had attached a speaker to the out back, and there was a dance pavilion out back.
okay, well, I went to something. It wouldn't really. It wouldn't. I didn't go to kindergarten. I went to what was it, preschool?
Yeah, but it was a retired teacher that taught you.
But it was Miss Bankhead, and I remember for years, God, a good 20 years or more, I would see Miss Bankhead, like at Walmart and things like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
she's-
Miss Bankhead, Miss sweet lady. But anyway, we would put on little plays in the preschool. And this one Christmas play, I don't think I had any lines, but I was a present. And here I am.
That was at the library. Yeah. And I remember Johnny and Carol just got married and they come up there.
But there I am dressed as a present next to another kid.
And as soon as he got up there, y'all, walked over there and got in his place, I think he had a couple of lines like, everybody wants to get a present for Christmas. And then he said, Mama, I got to pee. And it made the whole program. So Mama got up, walked up there and took his little hand and took him to the bathroom.
I don't know if this is the same day, maybe the same day, but here I am with my big old tie.
Aren't you cute?
And I remember there's some pictures somewhere of me doing this. During the play, I think it was a different play. I wasn't a present. I wasn't dressed up like anything in this one. And I took my tie off and handed it to this girl. And there's a picture of me handing my tie to this girl. She's like, okay, well, all right. And I don't know why I did it, but I took my tie off and handed it to this girl. I think she was really cute, and I thought she was cute, and that was my version of like, hey, want to hook up? Here's my tie.
You're gonna have to bring more to the show than that, Jack. People say, you want diamonds? I'm like, no, I don't.
Hey, in his defense, that was a nice tie. It was big too. It was a big tie.
Well, I think her mother just handed it on back over to mother. I think that's my high school graduation, Jay, is when you were there. Yeah. Because, I mean, there's 9 years difference in us. So I tell you what, though, I tried to train him when I was 14 not to open my door and just run in my room. I love to read. I was a reader, and I write these extravagant book reports and get extra credit. And I'm in there reading a book, and then Jay would just, little shit. He would come, grab the door, and just open it. They wouldn't let me put a lock on it, and just open it. Well, Daddy used to try to fix people's clock radios, and when he couldn't fix them, he'd just throw them out in this big bin. He said, "I'll take that, eventually to the dump ground." I said, "Okay." I'd retrieve them and bring them home, and I would throw them against that wall, try to scare him. He loved it. And the next day, I throw it against the wall. "What are you doing, Kathy?" "Mama, I'm trying to read and study and do my homework, and he won't quit coming in here." I think he might have been 5 anyway. And she said, "You leave that baby alone." I'm thinking, I'll take him out in the yard, whoop his hiney. Oh, in his little bathing suit.
I can't be more than like 1 there.
No, I think he's more like 3 there. Look at your knees.
Oh,
Yeah. That was over at Aunt Dorothy and Uncle Buck's place across the lake. But we used to have a lot of fun. One day, Daddy worked hard, y'all. He really did. And Mama brought him over. He was 3. Brought him over to the concession stand, and I was working. I was in there. He had me stocking sodies and dusting the food shelf for the campers. And Daddy laid down in this grassy area right outside this big picture window of the store. He just laid down out there. And Mama said, "Now I'm leaving this baby with you." I got him. Well, he didn't got him. Okay. Mother went back over to the house to take a shower. She worked nights as a nurse. And this was about 4:00 in the afternoon. And she went over there to take her shower so she'd go to work. At 9:00, I think is where she went. Anyway, all of a sudden, Mama comes back, and Jay was just climbing all over Daddy. But when he quit climbing all over Daddy, Daddy drifted off to sleep. And we had a pier maybe 50 yards out into the lake from where we were staying. We had a playground, but he wouldn't go playground without somebody because he wanted somebody to push him in the little swings. And that's okay. But I wouldn't watch him. Daddy was supposed to be watching. Mama comes screaming in the door, Kathy, help us. Jay, we can't find Jay nowhere. And Daddy's hollering for him. I go out at the back door hollering for him. Mama's running down to the edge of the water. She was a nurse, but still, she didn't want to have to revive her baby or find her drowned baby. But she went running down the big pier. On the other side, we had the gas pump and the oil cabinet where we'd open up and get oil, fill up gas tanks. But anyway, come back in. The only place we didn't go in was a bait shop about 15 feet from where Daddy was laying. And we had 4 big old cement vats in there where we put minnows. I hated selling minnows, but I sold minnows for many, many years for my dad. But anyway, we go in there, and Jay is on the other side, and he's scooping up water from a little bucket that he was playing with, and he's pouring it. They thirsty, Daddy. They thirsty. And here is a cement wall, and here's his little head, barely over it. So he couldn't fall in it, and he's too short-legged to crawl in it. But from then on, unless Mama left him in the store with me, Jay didn't stay with just Daddy. It was cute. But he didn't drown. Look at that. He's right there. He's already 60 years old.
Well, up around close to the Houston area, there's a beach, Galveston, Galveston Island. And it's a beach, and what is it? Is it the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, Gulf of Mexico, yeah.
But anyway, there's a news report on the local channel 10, KWTX. There was a girl from, I think they were from Oklahoma. They were visiting Galveston. And there was a little girl around 10, 11 years old, and she got chomped on the leg by a shark. And chomped her.
Oh, shit.
On the back of the calf. Chomped her.
Yeah, it happened.
But she reached down and she jerked the shark off of her, and they got her on shore. They had to put like 20 staples in her. They sent her home, but then she got a fever and started developing an infection. So she had to go back into the hospital and stay 2 or 3 days while they treated the infection. And they showed the wound. It was a pretty good sizable wound.
Yeah.
She's got a story to tell that she was bit by a shark. But anyway, the reason why I bring that up, here's me on the shore of Galveston picking up shells.
Oh, look, he's a little redheaded baby. And it wasn't too many years later that, because it's like 30-something miles from Houston, Texas, which is the biggest city in Texas. I don't know why. It just is. There's too many people, crazy people there. Driving up there, you better drive 90, they'll run you over. But anyway, they built a they call it 5-star trauma hospital on the island. Yay, buddy. And I mean, they still have shark attacks there. Not very many, but they have some. They just do.
Yeah, I don't go in the oceans and shit because fuck them sharks.
Well, 2019, my grandkids had never seen the ocean, right? And my daughter, she is iffy about it. My son-in-law's all for it. But of course, he was a military brat, and he remembers living in Hawaii. Okay, so he's expecting an ocean, pretty ocean. No, this is kind of muddy, drudgy ocean, Galveston. Now, North Shore and out of Corpus is beautiful, right? It's not as pretty as Hawaii. But anyway, we were sitting around talking, and I said, hey, what do y'all think that we do an Airbnb and get us a little house? And then, that way, if y'all want to go out at night to eat or whatever, I got the kids, right? And they're like, yeah, oh, that's great. And the kids they're 17 months apart. So they were like 4 and 6 when we went. Well, anyway, so we go and everything's hunky-dory. And I put in my part. I won't go unless they let me pay my part and then some, right? Well, I paid to get into the beach. You got to pay Stewart Beach to get in there to go down, right? So I had surgery on my toe. And so I really wasn't even supposed to get sand on my feet. And I sure enough wasn't supposed to be in the ocean, right? Well, my April and Darren carry the 2 babies out there, and the waves are hitting them, and they're having a good time there. And then April picks up John and walks out a couple of more feet and puts him down, and it was hitting him about here, and he's having a blast, right? And then all of a sudden, April grabbed up John, said, get Dot and come on, hurry. And grabbed up Dorothy and started running towards. I'd already rented me an umbrella. Y'all know, I was glamping up on the beach. And they come running up there. And I said, April, are you okay? She said, yeah, the kids are going to bury your other foot in sand. And we got the buckets out and they started playing. but don't look all the way up there. I thought somebody got hurt because she's going, nope, 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 hell no. About the time she got to me, I said, what? She said, Mom, something bumped me. Something bumped me hard. My daughter was a character anyway, but I laughed, and I said, well, baby, it might not have been, Mommy, it was under the water and it bumps me. I hate the ocean. Oh, look at little Bubba. First grade.
I remember when me and Jay saw Jaws in that XD or whatever. I forgot how scary that movie actually was for being a shark movie. So yeah, fuck that shit. I'm not going in the ocean at all. I'll go in a swimming pool.
Well, that's what she said.
I miss the ocean. I used to live in San Diego, and I had an apartment right next to the ocean. I miss it. We got lakes here in Missouri now, but it's not the same, you know.
I worked for 6 weeks and lived in Scotts Valley right outside of Santa Cruz, right? And I said, I want to go down there and watch the surfers. So I'd go down there and watch the surfers, and there's all in wetsuits. And I said, wait a minute. I was used to the Gulf of Mexico where I've grown up. And I said, what's so one of them come out and I said, can I take my picture with you? He said, yeah, hurry up. I don't want to set my board down, you know, and it like this, and it's a little heavy. So I took a picture with him and I said, why you got wetsuits? He said, well, the water is about 56 degrees. And we try to catch as many waves as we can. And so we're out there a good spell. He said, yes, ma'am. I don't think you'll see anybody here in shorts like they would do if they were, you know, in another state. And I said, oh, okay. So that was my first lesson. And I spent my 49th birthday in Santa Cruz. No, in Monterey. I went to Monterey and to the aquarium because I like to try to hit all the aquariums, you know.
I've been to the Monterey Aquarium. It's real nice.
Cannery Row, huh? Yeah. And I loved it. There's Jay.
For most people, it isn't sharks that become a problem. It's them little jellyfish instead of sting you and things
jellyfish.
Like that.
Yeah, that shit will sting you too. And then they tell you to piss on the sting or something is supposed to help. I don't know.
They say vinegar is really the only thing that'll do much good on him.
All right, here is.
I don't know what.
Behind the marina, and here's my Aunt Dorothy holding me.
Oh yeah, you was her baby.
I was a plump little baby.
Yeah. I just laughed. I said, "Oh." She loved her babies. Aunt Dorothy was our mother's sister that my granddaughter's named after. And we called her Dottie when she was a little young, and it just broke my heart when she said, I'm Dot now, when she was about 6. I said, no. Yeah, she grew up deciding what her name should be, you know. And I said, okay.
Yeah. Dottie is, I noticed that Dottie or Dot's usually a name for Dorothy. So my grandmother, her name's Dorothy. And when Father Isidore would come at the rest home, he'd be like, there's my girl, Dottie, you know, or whatever.
Yeah. And my son-in-law loves The Wizard of Oz. When he was growing up, they watched it every year as a family, you know, and whatnot. So April is type A personality. So, I mean, they'll butt heads every now and then, but on something really, really important, she gets her way.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to go to Las Vegas where they had that big old sphere thing, and they've been showing they recut the Wizard of Oz to fit that sphere. And
really
over $100.
I want to go to that. Dude, that would be badass. They had a UFC fight at the Sphere, and that shit was awesome. It looked all 3D and shit, and it was like.
Yeah, but Mormo was saying they'll done you $100 to see it. So
Yeah. Hey, Jay, have a
might be
great
worth it,
birthday. I
though.
have to go make my dinner. So it was great talking to you.
Well,
and
thanks
have
for
a
joining
great
us,
birthday.
Mormo. And yeah, let me know
Good
how
to see you.
I want that particular that one piece of artwork. I really want a print of that.
Yeah, that shit was badass. He ought to like try to put it on a poster or
watching
something.
him draw it, you know, and watching him
Isn't
create.
that
It was
cool?
like, what? It was a cool video.
I can't draw a circle with a jar lid.
Okay, here is. Growing up, my play buddy wasn't a boy; it was a little girl. She was
Our
a
neighbor.
Year, I think she was a year older than me, Vicky Adams. And so here's me and holding Vicky's hand. There's Vicky.
And Mama would say, "I don't like that little girl."
So
I
I,
said,
grew up. She was a little twat.
Well, Mama said she's just a spiteful little bully.
She was a little bitch. She was a little bitch. But I didn't have anyone else to play with. And
Well,
so
I don't remember her ever being mean to you, Jay.
she wasn't really mean.
Mama just didn't like her.
She was a bitch. That's the best way I put it. She wasn't mean to me, you know. She never hit me or anything.
No.
Said we saved
But
you. Was she like the British? Was she like the British word?
like a cunt. Cunt.
She was too little to be
Yeah, I don't
wrong.
know if I can say it. Like I know.
A cunt.
I never heard that word.
But
I heard,
yeah,
dude, at my job, I saw a lady call another lady that, and shit was funny.
we had some good time.
I was just at the cigarettes.
Right, but yeah,
Yeah.
Vicky Adams.
So did she like push you around, or what? Like what?
No,
Like why
not
did the mom
really.
not like her? Because
I
she was
wouldn't
just
say
mean,
that.
or what?
Mother's was weird about people. Now,
It was
she
almost.
just didn't
Sorry,
like
sorry, let me interrupt you, but it was almost, and this sounds weird, like having a wife.
she was bossy.
The kind of arguments we had was like
Oh, so she just bitch.
it was a male female thing that
Yeah.
she would get, you know, she'd get in
Oh, so she like nag at you.
she'd nag. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
she was a grade ahead of me. She was a year older than me. And we had fun, but she was my play buddy, Vicky, for God. You know, 10
Several
When I
years.
was in school, we had a friend named Shelby, and he was a cunt. Like he really was. He would tell on us. He would call the cops if we're out past curfew, and it was like, yeah, he's a cunt. Fuck him.
There you go. They come in all ages sizes, don't they?
Yeah, we're in junior high. And we're out running around town, and he called the police on us because we're outside because he was too scared of scary movies, and he didn't want to watch them with us, so he called the popo. Is that
Oh,
you in the?
That's my mama.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an old black and white photo.
Isn't that cute?
Because
Yeah.
there's several black and white photos, Darren, because I'm 60.
60.
God,
Hey, you lived through some cool decades, though.
The first TV we ever had was a black and white till the color come out. And then, you know, I don't know, Jay probably ever saw the black and white TV. But in the consoles, you remember them? Brandon, the big old consoles that weighed as much as a truck, big old square things.
Well,
Daddy goes
I had to-
Sears to
I
get us
had
the
to move-
color TV.
Well, it was before my time, but I had to move an old TV that my grandma had that was like wood or some shit. Fuck that.
Yeah. That's
That
it. That's
sucked.
the kind we had, dude. Oh,
Dude,
Daddy.
it was horrible. Like I like damn near broke my fingers moving it. I'm like, why? And it was like nothing but wood, but like a little bitty screen.
Yeah, right. I would say 17-inch viewable was a screen. That's about as big as it was.
But it was like wood.
Well,
and
yeah,
then, like, it
a wood cabinet. Yeah.
Yeah, Thomas. It never got anywhere like that. I think there was a couple of kisses. There's a few little kisses, little pecks that, you know, and it was almost like, what was that movie with Macaulay Culkin and that girl, My Girl, where she threatens to hit him if he didn't kiss her. It was like that, you know. Kiss me, come on, kiss me.
Well, she was just bossy. And Mama said,
bossy,
I
bossy.
when Vicky comes down, and see, I was over there. It's football field from our front door, our side door. If somebody goes to the front door, we know they didn't belong there because we came in through the carport. And was a store. It wasn't right next door. It was, a little ways down. And Mother would say, I don't like Vicky coming down here. Her mama brings her down here to play with Jay. Jay don't want to play with her. Jay and Jay had a closet in the living room, like a coat closet, and opened the door and it's full of his toys. He had a lot of toys in there, and they would pull them all out. But she said, "Well, when it come time to put them up, Vicky Renee decides, oh, I want to go home." Yeah, I imagine you do. And Mama would say, "You get in there and help him pick up them toys. Put them back in that closet before you go home."
Okay, well, Thomas says a cashier at a grocery store was ordering the bag boys around. She said she was getting them ready for marriage. I told her they'd all wind up singing show tunes.
Ah, that's funny. I've been twice divorced, and I thought, well, I've lived past all that crap.
Okay, well, here's a good family photo. And now here's Daddy, and I think this is when Daddy was working at the candy company because I noticed that.
No.
It wasn't because he's got a name tag.
See, he wore khakis a lot of times, and he'd buy them with name tags in the early days, with his name on them.
But there's Mama holding me. There's Kathy holding a Siamese cat.
Yeah, that's at Uncle Don and Aunt Martha's house.
Oh, y'all had a Siamese? That's badass.
I don't. It may not have been our Siamese. It might have been.
That was my aunt and uncle's house.
Yeah, I guess it was their Siamese.
But Mama and Jay did have a Siamese, Gracie.
You talk about a beautiful cat, man. I love Siamese.
I had a Siamese.
Yeah,
Grace. I call her Grace, but everyone else.
I like them. I like them racist cats in the Disney movies.
They're sassy.
No, she was getting you ready for getting bossed by women. I live with cats. Easier life. So.
That is true. I live with cats and dogs, and it's well, I don't want to say it's peaceful because the cats are kind of abusive to me.
Yeah.
Sassafras, she could be a cunt. If I don't feed her on time, she'll shit. I'm like, no, if she wants to eat right at 5 a.m. and if you don't feed her, she'll just
shit. I throwed myself in the floor. What the hell?
I'll spray her with some water. I'll just. We lost Kathy. That was you when you were probably, what were you, like 5 or something?
I don't even know if I'm that old there. I look like 3 or 4 there.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, it's hard to tell. That's a young photo.
But hang on. Let's get her back here. Yeah, we lost you for a second.
No, I lost y'all. Listen, I had to move around because this back gets to hurting sitting the way I sat. And so when I moved around, my phone just goes, shoo. I've got it on a switch.
We're sure that's okay.
Holder. Aw. Yeah, that's a picture. I think you were 2.5 there. Look at that hair. Look at them curls. That picture was the doctor took right after you went back for your last eye visit to see how your eyelids were doing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I remember it well. Because we go over there, Brandon, we get to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hell yeah.
One in our little town,
I'm glad you brought up those bees because that just sparked that memory right off the bat when you brought those bees behind the glass.
Well, yeah, I'm good. Not really. Oh, look at that baby. That looks like Shane.
That might be Shane.
Yeah, that's Shane, my boy.
Yeah, you're right. I think that is Shane.
Yeah, that's Shane when he was just barely sitting there. Sound like a snake.
That's a cool movie. It's called.
I like that movie. A guy turns into a snake and. At the end of it's this, where they just dissolve, but it's cool. He turns into a snake at the end of it.
Every time I hear it, it reminds me of Prince put out a song, and it's SHHH.
But that's the name of the movie.
Yes.
I've got a copy of it somewhere. Now here I am, and here it is. Shows that I keep talking about how old those projectors were that I operated. So there.
Damn, that thing's big.
Yeah.
And
It was like
you see right here that little window. That's where I could look to see that the two carbon rods were together and burning. That lit up so that you could see the movie. But yeah, there I am at the Mejia Theater, and those projectors. Oh God, they were probably built in like the 30s.
Yeah, 30s. I bet, Jay.
Yeah.
I was thinking 30s or 40s
Yeah.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
there's two of them. You switched. You looked at the upper right-hand corner for the cigarette burn. You see that little round burn dot up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. After about 20 minutes, you look for that cigarette burn, and the first burn is to switch on the next projector, and the second burn is to switch over to the next projector. That's what those cigarette burns. So when you watch an old movie and you see those dots at the upper right-hand corner, those are to signal you to switch over your projectors.
That's weird. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that thing looked so, and I brought pickle juice. I got him to start selling pickle juice at his movie theater when he was little, and I carried him up there to see Jaws.
She would send me into the snack bar to get her iced pickle juice.
Yeah.
And now I think I would drink it. Back then I thought it was disgusting, but now I think I would drink pickle juice.
Well, I went up there when I was on a date one time. I went up there. I was about, 14. We'd have to meet. Nobody drove, right? We'd have to meet at the movies. And I remember going in there and I said, there's a little old lady, Mrs. Woods. I mean, she was strict. She didn't even want you holding hands with a date. She's like, no, y'all don't be doing that. You got to leave if you're holding hands. We was 14. We wasn't doing nothing ugly, but it's too dark in there for her. But anyway, so I went up to the snack bar one time to get our drinks, and he went up with me to get the popcorn. And I said, Miss Woods, and they would have them big old jars of pickles with the big pickles, Brandon, them great big ones in that jar on the counter. And I said, Miss Woods, and she said, I think it was a maiden lady, never married, She said, what, Kathy, what do you want? Because I was always going to the movies up there. And I said, can I buy some of that pickle juice over ice? She said, well, I wouldn't even know. Well, I don't see why not. They could use a scoop to get it out and not have to, touch the pickle juice. And she said, but I wouldn't even know what to charge you for it. I said, I'd pay you 15 cents. And that back then, that was like $1, Oh, look at you in your little glasses. So she said, yeah, I'll see you pickle juice. It was good too.
Yeah, I mean, I know pickle shots are pretty good. I don't know if I drank straight up pickle juice.
Well, Sonic is now, they've put out this slush, pickle slush.
I know that commercial. I know people who were stoners try to drink pickle juice to pass a piss test, but it never worked.
No, there's not much that will work. I mean, I never tried to, the years I smoked, I never tried to get around a tinkle test, but it's just for the grace of God I was able to keep my job, to be honest.
Yeah. They're like, I used to work at like this cabinet shop in Hillsboro, and they're like, is Amigo coming back? And I'm like, no, Amigo said he drank pickle juice. That shit not going to work. Because I had to go to probation and shit. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Some companies, if you're really good at your job, they would just put you on leave, but you can get paid, right? And then you'd have to piss test again, and they decide if they wanted to.
The job didn't care at the cabinet shop unless you got hurt, but that dude was on probation, so like he got tested by the PO.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was like, yeah, pickle juice ain't gonna cut it.
Not much did, I don't think.
Do you remember, Kathy? Do you remember my monkey with the banana?
Oh, I loved your
That's
monkey.
scary
I was
looking.
so jelly. That was the thing to get.
Now,
What-
now I had one of these. Now this is not the original, and I think it was Joy that said, "Jay, eBay's got your monkey," and she ordered the monkey for me and got me.
Yeah, she got your monkey brought home.
Yeah, eBay's got your monkey. But anyway,
Yes, it's an ugly thing, but it was.
I would sleep with it sometimes. I had it up like on
Damn, that thing looks like a serial killer. That looks like something from a scary movie.
Our mother always wanted a chimpanzee.
Like the movie The Monkey.
I want a little chimpanzee. I said, it'll grow up and eat my face. I don't care. I said, no, Mama. No.
I kept one of them. I think the old storage building may have some more in there, but growing up, one of the ways I learned to read was Sesame Street and Childcraft.
Yeah. He would sit and look, starting about, Daddy started getting him when he was 4. And he would go and get it and get in one of the Daddy's big recliner and look at one of those books. And he would be sitting there for a couple of hours. And Mom would say, Jay, put the book down and go to the bathroom. He'd close it. It was kind of heavy for him, but he would carry that with both hands to the bathroom so he could look at it on the toilet. Jay, you need to go to it, honey.
And let's see, Darren's. Hey, Darren. Sorry, happy birthday, Jay. And Darren's way over there in England. And where is it? What's the countries he's in? Brandon.
I think he's in the United Kingdom because Wales is in the UK, I think.
But sorry I couldn't make the stream. We'll definitely sort something out on doing a stream in the future. See if I can get Dirk on as well. Yeah, that'd be great if you and Dirk could join us. We'd find a subject where we could talk about, maybe talk about some old movies or something. But thank you, Darren, for chiming in.
Hi, Darren.
Wales, UK. Yeah, he's way over there. So
my daughter did I got her one of those ancestry.com, genealogy test. She spit the tube, mailed it off. Cost me $100 bill when I did it. And it came back that we are from Norwegian. We've got Norwegian blood up in us. So Wales is one of the, Holland is some of the countries that it brought back and said we've got some of that blood up in us. And for years I thought my mama's side of the people, my daddy's side of the people I know is from Germany, but I thought my mama's side of the people was from Ireland. Nope, England. And I have a cousin, Kelly, that did a 500-page book on our family history, going way back.
Sis, do you know how the name came about? Real? Didn't it be spelled like REHL or something like that?
Yeah, REIHL. Well, I mean, they came through New York, and they had to go through, what is that island that they had to go through and get their permanent stamp on their passport or the paper? It's just a paper.
Ellis Island?
That's it. They came through Ellis Island, yeah. Anyway, when he come up, it was him, his wife, and 2 sons. And when they got over there, they said, he said, how do you say your last name? It's got to sound Americanized, or you won't be able to get work, and it'll be hard on the kids. And he said, Ryle. It's Ryle. And he said, no, we've got to change it. And he said, well, I don't know what to change it to. And he said, how about real? Just REEL. And he goes, that's fine. And he signed the paper, and his wife signed the paper. I think even the kids signed it. So there's record of them in Ellis Island where they changed their name. There you go.
You can imagine, I don't know about you, sis, but of course, in my case, growing up with that name, you can make fun of it, but really, what can you say? Jay, you the real thing? Hey, Jay, are you real? Well, okay. That's not really offensive, but playing around with the name real.
But they loved Rod and Reel.
Yeah,
And I'm
Rod
like,
and Reel.
well,
'cause
my
it's
dad
spelled-
runs
it's
an arena,
spelled-
so
it's
hit me with
spelled
your
that
best shot, Jack.
Yeah, Rod and Reel.
Yeah.
You know, when Coca-Cola came out with the slogan "the real thing," well, I had to endure that. Hey, it's the real thing, Jay. It's the real thing. So, but yeah, growing up with that name was kind of cool. I always liked the name Real. I just thought that's kind of cool.
And if you want to see something bizarre, teachers, even when I went to get some technical school and got courses, they could butcher it. They kept wanting to spell it different ways, and I'm like, it's like read, but it's an L on the end. Oh,
I always
Oh,
thought
JP.
because I used to watch your channel back in the day, and I thought that was like a pseudonym, like a film reel or something. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was like your actual name.
yeah.
But thank you, CKs. CK spoke up.
Aw. Happy birthday, Jay. The CK boys, I love you.
And I'm looking swole. Yeah, I am. Look at that damn chest. 60-year-old man. Look at that chest.
He's got some
Look at the
guns.
muscles on me on the picture I use. Look at the muscles on me.
I asked him, I said, Jay, can you whoop somebody with them guns the other day? when I saw him?
I'm scared to death to try to.
You're like,
I'm
I
waiting
don't
for
want to.
I'm waiting for the day somebody is like disrespectful at the theater and Jay can lay the smack down on them.
Yeah, he can just go boom, and that's it.
I'm a pussy. But anyway, now that I've got a record player and I've been digging out records and like I say, kind of going into sort of what I call a deep dive, finding stuff that's not as Prince and Led Zeppelin and stuff. Yeah, Rush. I've got a bunch of Rush.
Pink Floyd.
But I've been kind of digging deeper and trying to find some stuff that I haven't heard in a while. One of them being this lady here, Sinead O'Connor, and
Sinead O'Connor.
I'm just playing with her name, but
I don't like her.
Was she the one who shaved her head and went crazy?
She's the one on Saturday Night Live tore up a picture of the Pope.
Well, the reason why she did. Now, it was a bad idea, and it pretty much screwed up her career.
It did, yeah.
But the reason why she did it is because of child abuse in the papal and in the, it was to make a statement about that, about child abuse.
Yeah, but I'm going to let explanation about it.
That's a good point to make, but it was a bad way to make the point. But I always liked her voice. And
Prince gave her that song. He said, "Here,
of course,
I'll let you record it."
This is the album that Nothing Compares to You is on, which made her a household name for a while.
He didn't give it to her, but he let her record it, and he said that. But I will be recording it myself too.
It was originally recorded by this group that he produced with the Family or something.
Yeah.
And they did the first version of it.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube. It's okay.
Well, he built the group, the Family, and then the next came, he built the Time, Morris Day and the Time, and then he built the band he used in Purple Rain. Because most of the time he would go in the studio and play every instrument, and he didn't need a band. He did all his recordings right there in his own studio.
But here's another one. Here's old Tim Curry, and this is "Read My Lips" is the name of the album. But anyway, it's Tim Curry. It's good, but there's one song I just love called "Slow Gin," where he says "fuck" several times. I'm so fucking lonely, and look that up. SLO Gin. Gin, Slow Gin. Look that up.
No W, right? No W at the end of slow.
Okay. SLO Gin, Slow Gin, and it's got a great guitar on it. But it's him. I'm so fucking lonely. So it's cool that he says "fucking." It's like 20 times.
That's some cool obscure stuff.
But anyway, yeah, that's Tim Curry because he put out several albums as a solo artist.
I did not know he sang. Other than
I didn't either.
I'm a sweet transvestite.
But yeah, he put out He was a solo artist. He wouldn't, I don't think he was hugely successful at it, but he put out several albums. But this is the one I've got. Read My Lips, because he's got the big old lips.
I think it was 13 times, 14 times I saw Rocky Horror.
Oh yeah, well I was going to when I was going to North Texas State, they had it Saturday night midnight at the theater there, and I saw it up 4 or 5 times there.
Yeah, I had a teenage daughter that loved it, and it was something to do with the Dollar Theater.
But anyway, yeah. But look up Slow Gin. It's a slow song.
You think I like it as much as Rednecks by what's his name?
Oh, Randy Newman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. It's a slow song. It really uses his voice. You know, Tim Curry's voice. He's always had a really good singing voice.
I want to look it up because he, even in acting, you know, he had a very distinctive kind of baritone. I don't know.
That song he sings in Worst Witch. I like that song. You know, something about Halloween, and you know.
So is he like a baritone, or is he kind of like?
Kind of a baritone because he's British, but it's kind of a baritone. Yeah, I mean, of course, if you saw Rocky Horror Picture Show, you know the way he sings, the way his voice is.
Yeah.
But anyway, look up Slow Gin. That it's a slow jam, and it's got a great guitar. I don't know who plays the guitar, but great guitar. And he says "fuck" like 20 times.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a blues song.
I'm so.
Do you like blues, Brandon?
Yeah, I like blues. I like B.B. King, and you know, there's a guy named I'm drawing a blank. Whiskey or God, what's his name? He sings a song "Ain't Nothing Like Whiskey." Lightning Hopkins.
There you go.
I like Lightning Hopkins.
Muddy Waters is excellent.
Yeah,
he plays that guitar from way back in the early days in Memphis. I think is where he come up, and it has that twang, dang, 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 dang. You know.
Yeah.
Jump in the River.
I love that album. I think "Jump in the River" is the best song. Okay.
I'm not seeing that on this album, Jump in the River. Harlem on My Mind. I like that song quite a bit.
Yeah. See, to me, it sounds like he might lean towards a little bit of bluesy.
He's kind of bluesy. And like I say, he's got that, you know, pretty thick British accent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Slow Gin. Look up Slow Gin.
I'll never forget my daddy.
You hear that, you're gonna say, "Oh man, that kicks ass." Slow Gin kicks ass. And here is. I love the movie. This is the queer Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know what's funny as fuck? I never caught on to the queerness, and I'm actually bisexual. So for years, I never caught on to the gay shit till I heard people talk about it, and I was like, "Oh, it is a gay movie."
Then it's all
like,
mixed, right?
It just went over my head for the longest time.
It's not just in your face queer, but
I know that's why it's so weird. It's so weird that I didn't pick up on it at all.
Well, there's actually a scene at a gay bar in it. And,
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird. Maybe I was drunk. That's probably what it was.
It's just, this movie is head to toe queer. I love it, though. I mean, it's not a bad thing that it's queer, but
it makes it interesting. What's when he's in the bedroom and he's dancing and hitting the drawer with his ass and shit? And to me, that Freddy is the scariest out of all of them, I think.
Yeah, he's scary as hell in it, and but yeah, and it might be my favorite actual Nightmare on Elm Street. Might be.
Have you seen his Scream Queen documentary, to where he has beef with the director and stuff, and they kind of make peace? Because the whole time I'm like, bro, it's been 30 years. Let it go. You know? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I'm sorry. Thomas was talking about Sinead O'Connor, that song that he was talking about.
Yeah, I can't stand her. I just didn't care for her. Robert Englund's getting a stone on Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yay! Get it, Robert. It's your birthday.
To me, he's kind of like the modern Vincent Price or something. You know, he's like the big horror guy.
There you go.
Okay, this might be actually worth some money because I haven't seen this anywhere else. I don't know if you can go to eBay and find it or whatever. Got this back in the day after Part 3 came out. I got this album And me and my friend Mark would do these little radio cassette shows, and we would do, we use soundtrack music as the music, and we use this a lot. But anyway, and it's 3D. The cover I can't see in 3D, but the cover is in 3D, and it's got tracks from the first 3 movies. But this
Who is it?
This came out after part 3 came out, which was in 3D. And
so it's like a compilation album.
Yeah. It's got the theme to part 3 in it. And it
that's a rocking theme too.
But it came.
He's got the glasses.
It came with this.
That's neat.
And so you could look at the album cover in the back, but I can't see in 3D, so it didn't work for me. But because I'm blind in my left eye, so. But anyway, yeah, it's got Henry Manfredini music. But I was like, I need to see if this might be worth something, because I'm not seeing this anywhere.
That's what I was about to say. That looks like something I ain't, never seen listed on any of the auctions or anything. That's neat.
Look it up on eBay. It'll let you know how much it's worth.
It got it right after part 3 came out. I got the album. And,
I saw that Child's Garden of Grass on eBay, and it was $140 because it's so rare you can't get it.
I wanted to buy that book Rage that Stephen King wrote as Richard Bachman, and it's like $1,000. I'm like, nope, I'll listen to the audiobook.
Yeah.
And Brandon, I don't know if it'll be showing. You said it might be October before we go see movies again, but Cody Leach, I just watched Cody Leach, and he loves The Long Walk.
I want to see that.
Because it may be his favorite movie of the year so far.
Because I'm kind of a fat ass, and I had several people tell me you ought to watch The Long Walk. That should probably give you nightmares, Brandon. But like, yeah, I bet it would. Because they shoot me, I'll be like, I can't do it. I'm obese, and they'd be like,
he said that it might be his. He said it might be his favorite of the year so far.
Yeah, we have to check. We have to check that out. I should be getting some new tires soon, so.
Well, they said it's teenagers, so I think we'd be all right.
Back in the day when you got discounted albums, they would take a little nick out of the album.
Huh. But I wonder why they did that.
This is the Death Wish 2 soundtrack.
Oh, that movie's badass. Is that the one where he has the board and it hits the guy in the face and the teeth get stuck in it?
I don't know. That might be part 3. I love 3. 3 is just so over
the top. Might be, dude, that movie was one of my favorite. What was the one where he's like, do you believe in Jesus? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, well, you're going to meet him. Shoot him.
But this is part 2. The reason why I got it at the time is because Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin did the soundtrack.
Yeah, I'd heard that.
That reminds me, it has nothing to do with Led Zeppelin or anything, but that new Tron movie, it has original music by Nine Inch Nails, so that's something that we might want to check out too.
I want to see that, and I want to hear that soundtrack, definitely.
I'm more interested in the music than the movie, because I'm not the biggest Tron guy. Oh, that's badass.
Poor little girl.
Jay, do you think Tobe Hooper directed it, or it was Spielberg?
I think Tobe Hooper directed it. I just think
he had to do it like Spielberg.
I think there are several moments that Spielberg says, well, look, we need this to look this way. We need this to look that way. I think he was influenced a lot by Spielberg.
See, that's what I was thinking too, because to me, knowing I don't know them, but seeing interviews, I don't think that Spielberg that'd be like Stolen Valor or something. They wouldn't want to do that, Because
I think at the time Spielberg was still filming E.T. Or finishing it up, and so he was busy with that. He was too busy to be there on the set every day to direct this movie.
Yeah. And also, the face peeling scene is like some Hooper shit. The face peeling
scene, that's just something that is right out of something that Tobe Hooper would do. So I think Tobe Hooper directed most of it, but I think he was influenced by Spielberg. in the making.
Yeah.
You know,
When that mama ended up in that swimming pool, y'all, I lost my shit.
Do y'all
I was
believe
like-
in the curse?
I'm like, no. Yeah, I do.
the little girl Heather O'Rourke, she
She got
died
some weird, rare disease from like the olden days or something.
And it took her fast too, y'all.
and
I know,
then the older sister was murdered by her boyfriend.
And
Yeah.
nobody did anything. They just stood there.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard for me to watch those movies because it's like everybody died, and that little girl, you could kind of see it in her face in like the third one or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's sad.
Something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this singer, I haven't talked to a lot of people that like her, but I always did really liked Laurie Anderson.
I don't think I ever listened to her.
I don't know her.
Okay,
I don't know her either.
Well, write this down. Right, you wrote down Slow Gin, Slogin, Gin. Slow. Write that down, and then write down Superman. And it's
Superman.
It's not OH. It's just Superman. Superman.
And what's her name?
Laurie Anderson.
Laurie Anderson.
And she does this kind of performance art kind of music. She uses electronics. She plays violin, but it's like an electric violin.
Okay. So when you say performance art, it's not like Yoko Ono, right? It's not like
it almost kind of goes into Yoko Ono
I couldn't stand her
territory.
music.
She's nowhere near as annoying as Yoko Ono.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll give it a chance, but Yoko Ono.
Go to YouTube and watch the video. I think it hit like number 5 or something at the time. Superman actually got popular.
So is it better to watch a music video with it? Because it's kind of like, because you said performance art.
Go to YouTube and watch Superman. Just Superman.
Okay.
And then tell me what you think. Just think of this. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, Superman and Slow Gin by Tim Curry. So
our daddy loved blues, and I'll never forget. I thought, well, I'm going to bring one of my cassettes. We were living in outside of Waco. We were living in Hewitt.
Oh, that's badass.
And so I brought him an Eric Clapton. He said, sis, I probably wouldn't care nothing about it. And because he always had music going in his stores down there at the marina. And so I said, well, see what you think about this. He said, yeah, can you leave it just right there so I can listen to it again sometime? So he took over my Eric Clapton. I said, I don't like his singing, Daddy, but his picking's good. He said, no, I like
it. He's the one that does Do You Feel Like I Do, right? Am I thinking of the right dude?
Yeah.
Of course, that's Dee Snider.
I always like the music.
We're not going to take it.
I always like the music video because it's always that one dad that's like, what is that? And what are you going to do with your life?
Yeah.
But I love this whole album. I love Burning Hell, Stay Hungry. I love.
I did Burning Hell at karaoke one time. That shit was fun.
And Captain Howdy. Of course, you're being a huge Rex Exorcist fan. You know Captain Howdy.
Yeah. I actually used, when I watched Haxon, I used Burning Hell for the Black Mass scene. Welcome to the abandoned land. Dun, dun, dun.
I think I almost like that because, we're not going to take it as one you just kept hearing over and over and over and over. But I think Burning Hell is my favorite track on the album. You're going to burn in hell.
I like the part where it's like, see no evil, don't you let no evil.
We're going to burn in hell. Okay. And of course, Simon and Garfunkel was a huge growing up, listening to that on the jukebox in the 45s, and they had Simon and Garfunkel. But anyway, when Paul Simon came out with Graceland,
yeah, that was good.
Great album. It was South African music that he combined, but just a lot of great tracks in Graceland. Here's one I really like. This. Roxy Music, and
that's it. What kind of genre is that? That's interesting looking.
Rock almost kind of soft rock, but very almost classical rock.
Oh,
Bless
sinuses.
you.
Uh,
Thank you. I've done
Classical.
this all day.
Who would you compare it to, though? Like, if you could compare it to an artist, who you could compare it to?
That's a good question. Roxy Music.
Because when you say kind of classical soft rock, is it like a James Taylor or a Jimmy
Oh
Webb
no,
or
it's not
like?
that because it's more orchestral, more of an orchestra sound to it.
Lawrence Welk.
It's a very full sort of orchestra sound. Roxy Music, and it's hard to compare it. They were very distinctive.
What's I have to check that one out. What's the name of that one?
Hang on. This may just be called Roxy Music. No, Avalon. This is Avalon.
Avalon.
I'll look their stuff up on Spotify.
This is probably their most famous album is Avalon. And here
And
we
it's
go.
like
Carly Simon?
Cars.
Oh, Cars.
Cars, man.
Is that the one with the? Is it in Cars or whatever it was?
Good times roll. Let's see. My best friend's girl.
Oh, there, yeah.
Moving in stereo. But yeah, the Cars. Rick Ocasek. Here we go. I think Brandon, I think you have this, don't you?
I don't have it on vinyl, but I listen to that shit all the time. Is that the one with the Overkill and It's a Mistake?
Let's see. I don't think It's a Mistake is on this one. I think that was like maybe their second album.
Because that's kind of what I feel like about, like, I don't want to get into politics, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's a mistake.
This is Down Under, Be Good Johnny, be good.
I always like Men at Work's Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive video. That's one of my favorite ones.
Thomas says, I love Graceland. He have a cassette, and he's talking about Roxy Music was like pop lounge singing. That's
okay. What's her name?
Well, like a club kind of setting, or
more just something to mellow out to.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean like a club like uns, but kind of like a chill.
It's like Dean Martin doing rock.
Oh, I like Sade. I think it's her name. I think that's how you say her name. And Nora Jones. I like one. She does a real bluesy. She's got a real bluesy voice. And my favorite one on the CD I got in yonder is "Turn Me On." It's so good.
Now the original of this actually had a zipper that you could unzip, but this one doesn't have the zipper.
What am I looking at? Oh, it's a
Rolling Stones. Sticky Fingers. Rolling
a
Stones.
crotch.
But the original
kind of reminds me of the Maniac poster.
The original actually had a working zipper; you could unzip it, But this one, this is just a picture. So, and then you got
a butt.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure if that's Mick Jagger's groin there and Mick Jagger's ass. But anyway, yeah, that's the Sticky Fingers by Rolling Stones.
What you need, Jay? You need some David Allen Coe in there.
Oh, you don't have to call me darling.
I love David Allen Coe. He's badass.
That's my only karaoke one I've ever done.
I did if that's not country. I did if that's not country, and I said don't worry, I won't say the word. And like you could probably say it around here. I don't think nobody would care. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna say that part.
Thomas Ferry, the lead singer of Roxy Music is Brian Ferry, and he was the lead singer of Roxy Music. And he does a lot of solo stuff too. And what was that movie? It had Tim Curry. He played the darkness with those curved horns. What was that?
Oh, was he the devil?
The devil.
God damn! I had it.
God, what was the name of that movie?
I would have had it unless you said it. Now I'm like it slipped my mind.
But anyway,
Yeah, me too, Thomas. Nora Jones, she works for me.
Brian Ferry
Barkley.
sings the end song to that, and it's great. I forget the name of the song, but he sings that
Fuck, man.
the ending of that.
My friend Terrell would always tell me about how much he liked that movie, but now that we're trying to figure out what it is, I can't remember the name of it.
Well, it's not Labyrinth, is it? And
No,
that's
darkness.
yeah, that was I think Bowie was in that one.
Is it Legend or Legend or
Yeah.
something with an L?
Legend,
Legend, yeah.
Legend? Yeah.
legend.
Them big old red horns.
Isn't he trying to seduce a woman in that or something? I'm trying to remember it. I only seen it like once.
I remember there's like these little dwarf creatures in it, and his name is Darkness. That's his name, Darkness. And he's all about darkness. He's all about everything being down and dark and black and darkness. Yeah. And
Every time I hear Darkness, I think of Chappelle Show with Charlie Murphy and Rick James, and he's like, Rick James used to call me Darkness because I was around before Wesley Snipes.
So Roxy Music members were art majors that drew from jazz, glam rock, and various sources.
That sounds interesting.
Thanks, Thomas.
they have a very distinctive sound. And
Yeah.
that album Avalon is probably their most famous album.
Well, those are some genres that you don't think would blend well together, but that's why I'm interested in them, just because it seems like it'd be kind of a, like it would clash.
And Brian Ferry, it was a really not good singer, and he had some solo albums too that I really like. Yeah, Legend was the movie, right? But and I like Legend. It's kind of a slow movie.
Is
I really
Keanu Reeves in that or no? I only seen it once.
Yeah, it's been so many years ago.
It's Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom Cruise. Okay.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And I forget the chick's name in that, but and of course,
Like
Tim
I
Burton is the.
It's one of those movies that my buddy Terrell, he always put it over, and I watched it with him one time, and I only seen it once.
Yeah, he said he's never seen it, but thinks it's Tom Cruise. I liked Interview with the Vampire with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt.
That's
That was
a good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
I see there's a remake on Netflix, but I don't know about that. I'm just kind of mean.
I don't do. I hardly ever do. Well, okay.
Well, it's a series.
Yeah, I know, but
It's okay. I've seen a few episodes. I thought it was all right.
they're okay. Yeah.
Didn't have a
I mean,
stronger-
some remakes are good. Like, I like the 70s version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but I don't think it's as good as the black and white one.
I was talking to John, and he said, Nana, I just got a new version of, he's playing the game. Ball Guy, is that the name of it? Anyway, he's playing this game, and they're playing 40s music, Western music in the background.
Oh,
And
Fallout.
Yeah, that's what he was playing. Yeah, he got a new Fallout game, and he's playing it on the computer. So I went over there for a couple of hours after I saw his sister at school and had breakfast. Mama said, "You want to come home for a couple of hours, see John?" And Sailor is their 14-year-old dog that loves me very much. So I said yes. So I went over there, and Sailor loved me up, and then he went over to the closet where they keep his treats. Because when I come, Brandon and I'd stay with the kids a little bit. When Mom and Dad go out, I'd give them treat, usually 2. So she said, "Why are you coming over here to this closet?" I said, "He gets a treat because Nana's there." Oh, okay. Then she brought me one to give him, right? But anyway, John says, "Listen, Nana," and you know that kind of old country western song, "Tumbleweed," rolling along like a tumbling tumbleweed. And I'm like, "Oh, cool, John." I said, "I can't hear it." He said, "Well, me and these other guys invading this old. We got to kill all these ghouls, so I can't turn it up right now."
I'm not a big video game guy, but my buddy Logan, I played it with him, and they're playing like old Marty Robbins cowboy
Yes.
songs. You're just like shooting. You're like just
Yeah.
shooting all these monsters. Like it's
Yeah,
a cool.
it's a love song.
Okay,
It's a
let's-
cool like game.
That was our mother's favorite singer, Marty Robbins.
Some more.
Yeah, I
throwback.
like that song where he talks about El Paso City. Who's
Yeah.
that? Can you like pull it out some or?
I think
I see
it's
time.
when John Lennon got shot. Is that what that is, Jay?
Oh, that guy got denied parole again or something. I seen that on
14th
Google
time, I
News.
think. Good.
Yeah.
When the music died, and this is when Lennon was murdered, and this is
Yeah.
the Time magazine.
It's so sad.
Was he was a fan of John Lennon's, right? Or something too?
There's actually a picture of him getting his autograph right
before
he
shooting. Yeah.
shot him and killed him.
He was
So why
psychotic.
did he? Well, I know that, but if you're a fan of somebody, I don't know why you would shoot them.
Because
I'm
he's
sure I forget.
in the head.
I'm sure
Crazy.
he's been interviewed and he said why he did it, but I forget why he did it.
Because he's in the head, y'all.
Uh,
FK.
Maybe that's why Yoko Ono made all them crazy albums afterwards.
I could not stand her music. I said, that's music?
One time,
Uh-uh.
One time, my mom, she was interested in like what she was doing, and I played it. She's like, "Son, turn that shit off."
Thank you. Thank you. Can't handle it.
I didn't see what the
I-
last
one
thing
that-
was.
that- the only one really that survived, but it's my copy of Famous Monsters.
Oh, that's cool. Is that like an original one?
It's Clash of the Titans, Superman. I don't know if it's the first or second Superman, but it's Clash of the Titans, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, that's nice, Thomas. Barry would dress very nicely. He tried to be very elegant.
You should have seen Jay's face when I told him I didn't care for Indiana Jones, and he's like, "That's my favorite action movie."
It's my favorite action movie. Yeah, on the back you can buy a Battlestar Galactica a satchel.
Oh, look at there. That's a nice one. Bet you can get good money for it now.
And back in the day, back then it was $24.95.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
$600 now.
But the women's size was $34.95, and the men's size was $39.95.
Yeah, piss on
Okay,
that.
so what year was that?
Oh,
80s?
81.
Damn, that's a lot of money for back then. Shit.
It's July.
Yeah, it was. That's like spend a few hundred now, wasn't it? Jay, didn't you get a write up in one of the in Fangoria magazine?
Yeah, for
I
his
got reviewed.
movie.
Dawn was reviewed in Fangoria.
I thought it
That's
was.
why I was telling Jay he ought to try to get his movie put out by Vinegar Syndrome or one of those people because they put out other independent stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm on the Madman release. I'm interviewing the director and I'm interviewing Madman.
well, you were on Netflix too, weren't you? Like you were the most rented on Netflix DVD wise or something.
When Dawn came out, he put Dawn on Netflix, and that's back when it was a DVD rental place.
Yeah, and they mail it to you.
And they mail you the DVDs. And Dawn, he sent me an email, and I remember the heading was "Holy Guacamole," and he said, "Dawn has broken the record for the most Netflix orders of any movie."
Well, I was telling my cousin's friend,
That's
I was
pretty
having
cool.
a beer. I was having a beer with my cousin and his friend, and I was thinking the people who wrote "Let the Right One In" kind of stole some of your shit, like with the vampire kid not
They
being able to
did.
eat food and stuff.
You know,
They did.
I talked about that on the watch along I did with
They
Ray
did.
for Dawn. I talked
That's what I
about
was, and I showed your movie to people, and they were surprised by how good it was for being, like a low budget film. So I don't know why they won't pick it up.
You'll keep trying because it's on there. It's going to be. I'm going to keep it on YouTube so I can still show it around, and I'll keep trying. I love Famous Monsters magazine. I still have a few. I have some Starlog too. Oh yeah, Starlog. I love Starlog. And I
plan
remember,
on
yes, I do
getting-
remember Twilight Zone magazine.
I want to get the poster of Famous Monsters with Linda Blair from The Exorcist with the blue tongue sticking out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen that, a picture of that.
That was a cool tattoo. I've been wanting to get a tattoo. I don't know. I was thinking about getting one for my mom, and then, or maybe the Blair Witch or something. I don't know. Jay, you got to go with me because I'm gonna be a pussy when I get my tattoo. I never had one before.
Well, I'll go with you when you get yours, and then I'll get my Eeyore on my left arm.
Does it hurt? I'll be like, "Ah!"
It stings.
You know what it reminds me of?
It's a
Did
burn.
you ever light a match and you burn your finger?
Yeah.
It feels like somebody is burning you. That's what it feels like to me. That's what it feels like to me. And I've got 6.
I don't remember it feeling like that. I remember it being sort of just a very small sting because it's a little needle, you know. And I remember it being more of a stingish burn.
And don't drink anything before you go because it'll make you bleed more.
Oh, I know. I was already warned. My buddy Lewis got Ed, Ed, and Eddie and Courage the Cowardly Dog tattooed on his, but he loves it. He does.
I've got a mouse about this tall on the inside of my right leg holding a flower with a cute little tail because I always wanted a mouse tattoo. So I went in there and the guy that did it, he's done several stars that come through Austin. And it's a True Blue Tattoo. Shout out. He's in the downtown area. And I went in there and I said, I took a picture of a mouse. I said, I want this, but it was a little picture. I said, but I want it bigger. So they blew it up. And he said, and I said, you think you can do it? He said, yeah, I can do it. And he did. And it looks excellent. And they say when you get old, they go, no, they don't. That's bullshit.
Well, what I want to get is I want to get my mom like cardinal. So I want to get like a cardinal. And then maybe like some kind of rest in peace type thing. But I wanted to go to a tattoo artist and maybe have them do something first, kind of as a test, you know?
Yeah.
Because I want to have it, yeah.
The first one I got is a little bitty flower right there.
Yeah, I see it.
Right there. And I got it at a Harley convention that came through Waco. When we were living here, and I went up to that Harley convention. I said, I want a tattoo. And that way I got an idea of what it felt like. All right. But if you get one of any decent size, you don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can say, I want to come back. Okay. I need it. Or the tattoo artist up at True Blue will tell you if you need a break. But when I got my 2 Prince tattoos, they're different designs, but they're his designs, right? When I got those, I just felt like I needed to kind of do a little bit of, all right, go ahead. Go ahead, bracing myself. My daughter's got some gorgeous ink. I gave her a camera when she went to Arizona, one of those 126 film cameras, little Instamatic. When she was 4, she went to Arizona with my parents on a road trip to go visit people and drive back Dad's pickup that they gave him. Anyway, when they went out there to visit realtor friends of theirs, I gave her that little camera. It was about that big. She has the exact camera tattooed on her.
Yeah, I was thinking
got some nice ones.
There's that tattoo shop kind of by the Cinemark, and I want to get like the Cult of Thorn, like Michael Myers, where it's like you.
Yeah.
Or the Blair Witch.
Ask to see their flash, which is designs that they've done on people. Each ornament. Then that way, the one that you think does the best work, so you're gonna want to work on you.
Yeah. Or that, or I thought about the Blair Witch logo with like a little stick person. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. April's got the every date of her family, her husband, and the 2 kids tattooed. The dates around her knee.
Oh, that's neat. I've seen people do that.
It looks really cool. Yeah.
You've got Daddy's signature.
Yeah, I got. Let's see. Well, let me show. I'm gonna move the camera this way, y'all, so I can show it to you. Jay gave me an old receipt. Let's see. of Dad's initials. I got his initials on me. There we go. That's a pretty good. Let me move out. Yeah,
That's nice.
JCR. And Jay found a bunch of old receipts. He found one where my uncle was buying land from Daddy, and the top of it is the ink's faded across the top of it. And when he did it, in other words, the way he did it. And when I went on a girls trip to Colorado, April and I needed to go. It was legal, right? So we went out there and spent 4 days, and her husband kept the babies, and we went to a tattoo parlor because everywhere we went together. She wanted to get a tattoo, So we did, and I went in there, and I had the receipt Jay gave me where Daddy put his initials on there, and I laid it down. I said, I want that. And he said, where do you want it? I said, I want it on my arm, right here, because I don't really care if anybody. It's on my right arm, and it's a little ways up on my arm. I said, I don't want. He said, well, if you do it the other way, everybody. I said, I don't care. I want it where I can see it. And he got up to the top of the J, and he said, it's thin there. Do you want me to fill that in? No, I want exactly the way Daddy did it. Thanks to Jay. Jay found it.
When I get my tattoo, that's my thing. Someone was like, but what about jobs and stuff? It's like, I don't want to look at my back or have to look in the mirror to see it. I want to be also, I'm a janitor. It ain't like I'm like in a big office. And before that, I was in warehouses and shit,
Well, we talked to Mormo, and he's got several tattoos, but he says he always wanted one he could cover up, with the
right.
shirt.
Yeah.
But honey, I live in Georgetown, which is almost 28 miles from Austin. I went to meet my attorney that I started giving payments to that let me make payments on my divorce. And I met him over here in Georgetown at a coffee shop, at a Starbucks. Anyway, went in there to meet him to start writing down, what I wanted, what I wasn't going to take and whatnot. Anyway, he's covered in ink. But it's tasty.
So is my doctor at the urgent care when I fucked my leg up and shit. He had a sleeve, and it's like, hey, let's take an x-ray of your foot for bring them in here.
I always wanted a sleeve, but it's expensive, man.
Yeah.
And as I got older, April said, I'm worried about you healing right, Mama. I wish you wouldn't get no more. But, honey,
I wouldn't want to commit to something that elaborate, like a sleeve.
I would.
Dude, one of the coolest sleeves is there's this dude named Pastor Bob. He's like a YouTube preacher, and he has like he has like a lion and like a big old angel with a sword, and it's all like it's one of the coolest looking tattoos.
And also, I wouldn't, and that's one thing April and I agreed, and thank God. I want nothing on my face or on my neck.
Yeah,
I ain't going in the pen.
Okay, April has some stuff on her face.
Not on her face.
I thought she had some stuff on her face.
No, she's got a spider behind one ear.
Huh.
Because her biological father had a spider. And it's the same spider, only it's little. Yeah, and then she's got on the back of her neck a squirrel, Lisa, the squirrel that she helped our daddy feed for years. She's got a replica of her, a little short, fat squirrel. But nothing on her, nothing that you can really see if she has her hair down. Yeah, no, hell to the no. And I love that, But she's got a cactus. We went to Universal Studios, and Pink and her husband, Carrie Hart, have a tattoo studio. They call it The Walk. It's in Universal, but it's before you get to all the rides. They got a bunch of shops. And she got a palm tree on her leg at their studio. It is gorgeous. And it took about 3.5 hours because, it's big, it's a palm tree and then the, stalk and whatnot. Anyway, John was 2, and I carried him to see his first Minions movie. I said, I'm not going to sit out here in this rolly cart. I rented one, and I said, I'm not going to sit out here in this while you go in there and do all that. So he and I went and ate, and I carried him to he was still pull-ups in. You carried him to the potty. And then I said, I don't care. She told me, don't take him to, I said, the Minions are showing. Don't take him. His daddy wants to take him to his first movie. His Nana did it. I come out and I said, he won't remember it. And John looked up at me. He said, popcorn, two sips of Nana soda. I was drinking Dr. Pepper then. And Minions, Mama, you made it. And I said, let's forget that before we get home. Okay. But we did a 4-day trip. So, he didn't really. I don't think he remembered to tell his dad. But anyway. I'm that sneaky grandma. Don't tell me not to do something.
I remember when I was a kid, I always used to tell my grandma I had a toothache. She'd let me take a sip of whiskey.
Oh.
Like, Granny, my tooth hurts. Or, Granny, I'm sick. And she'd get like lemonade and shit and like mix it up with honey. And I'd be like,
Am I remembering wrong, sis? Or did, like, when we were kids and had like a cold or something, they would give us like a little bit of something like whiskey or something?
my grandma would mix it with lemonade. She would mix it with lemonade and honey and microwave it.
Didn't they give us like a little?
It was like a little more than a shot glass Mama had. Remember the snuff glasses?
I remember the snuff glasses. Yeah.
Okay, it was about not quite half, about a fourth, I guess, of whiskey and honey. And we didn't have a microwave back then, but Mama would take it and boil water and hold it up over the water with the pot holder and let it get real warm and give it to us. And she was a nurse, so we figured, yeah, it worked good.
It's like, particularly if you had like a head cold or had a cold.
Real bad cough, she'd do it.
I still use that as an adult, and I rub myself down with Vicks and drink that, and it helps.
There you go. Vicks is old school.
Except for I stayed away from the electric blanket because I remember one time my Uncle John's like, you're going to burn up with that shit. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to use it.
And also, years and years ago, they said if you got fever, cover them up. Now they say, don't do that. Don't do that. They got fever, uncover them. Yeah, no, because that's holding in the heat and making your fever go up. That you need to be cool. You need to be cooler.
Oh, my daddy would it was like torture. He'd be like, you got to break the sweat.
Breaking the fever don't work, the doctor said. And, so I'm like, well, that was good to know 40, 50 years ago.
Speaking of home remedies, we had in the cupboard in the kitchen a little jar of snuff. Now, who in our family likes snuff? Was it
Nanny?
Oh,
Nanny?
Copenhagen. I used to dip Coke snuff, but that tore my mouth up. I had to quit.
Well, anyway, here's the story of the snuff. Before my Uncle Willie bought the lot, my daddy had a lot across the lake that he owned. And he would go and mow it down, keep it mowed. He eventually sold it to my Uncle Willie. And they moved their trailer house in there. But anyway, he owned that property. Bought it from old Friday Hoffman. Like we bought our lot, Friday Hoffman. But anyway, and I was with Mama, and we went to go talk to Daddy about something. And he was mowing. He had a big old tractor, big old
with
tractor,
a shredder on the back.
with a shredder on the back, and he was mowing the lot. And I couldn't have been more than 5, 6 years old. And so Mama was holding my hand, and we were walking up to Daddy on the tractor. And unknowingly, I stepped on a hornet's nest that Daddy had cut down.
Oh, God damn.
Stepped right on top of a hornet's nest. And I was covered head to toe with hornets. I mean, he stung me everywhere, all up and down my arms, stung me on my neck, my chest. I was wearing a shirt, but I was in shorts. So they stung me all up and down my legs. I must have been stung a dozen times,
Dangerous.
Hornets. And Daddy grabbed me. And of course, I'm screaming, crying and screaming, because I didn't know what they were. I remember so clearly yelling, "Daddy, ants!" And Daddy said, to correct me, "Jay, they're not ants, they're hornets." He's like, "Well, I don't give a fuck what they are." But he was correcting me. "No, Jay, they're not ants, they're hornets." And he grabbed me and threw me into the lake. It was right there by the lake shore, Lake Mahia.
Well, he jumped in there with you.
Yeah. But first he threw me in the lake, there was a little drop off there, and he threw me into the water, and then he jumped in after that. but just threw me in there. And I think I was wearing a shirt kind of like this, wearing a button shirt, and he ripped the shirt off and hit me with the shirt. Mama was getting stung. He was getting stung. Mama was getting stung. And I remember Mama, as she's swatting hornets off herself, she goes, there's one on his neck, Daddy, there's one on his neck, and he'd swat it off my neck. There's one on his arm there, and she's crying. I'm screaming. It was a big ordeal being stung by the hornets. Anyway, they got me back to the house, and I'm all swollen, all up and down my arms, my legs, these hornets stings. And Mama set me on the kitchen counter there by the sink, set me on the counter, and I'm in shorts, and my legs are all red, my arms are all red and swelling from these hornet stings. And Mama took out that little jar of snuff, and my Uncle Willie was there. And Uncle Willie opened up that jar of snuff and took a big dip of it and put it in his jaw there in his cheek and walked it around in his mouth and spat a big wad of snuff out onto his hand. And he took his finger and he dabbed snuff on each of my hornet stings. And it took the sting away almost immediately. I remember feeling the stings subside when he would rub that snuff on the stings. And I was covered in snuff, head to toe in snuff. But yeah, he was chewing snuff and spitting it out in his hand and rubbing that snuff on my hornet stings.
Yeah.
And I wonder.
Thanks, Brandon. It sucks. And I got to go to the grandkids tomorrow.
Where did that come from to rub, snuff on hornets?
It worked. Have you ever been hanging out with someone who dips and you accidentally grab the wrong soda can and you drank their spit? Because that happened to me. I almost
husband grew up on a ranch, and they work cattle, and one time
he was here. Stephen, he was here earlier, but he said he was going to duck out and fix himself something to eat. But yeah, he came.
Yeah, but he was here. He started it, didn't he? But
but Tommy, you can have reactions to those things that can kill. Yeah, I remember I was shivering.
It was a little bit.
It was almost like I was freezing. I was shivering because when they got me back to the house, I was whimpering. I wasn't screaming anymore because I had screamed myself hoarse.
Well, I think you were either 6 or 7. You were a little guy. Because the reason I remember it so well is I was 15. I was dating a guy. We called him Red. He was a football player, big redheaded guy. And I dated him for a few years. But anyway, when we got back to the house, I had a long formal on. He had brought me a corsage. I put the corsage on, and we were about to go to the football banquet at the high school. And y'all pulled up, and Daddy goes, "Hey, Red," he threw him the keys to the store, which is about a football field away from our house. He said, "Go over there, get a bag of ice out of the back of the ice thing." And we had an ice machine out back. And he said, "And go in the store." He said, "Kathy, y'all go in there and get baking soda." He said, "There's about 5 or 6 boxes of baking soda." And so we just went and got them all and went and got the ice. And then he said, "Grab Jay a couple of candy bars and get y'all whatever y'all want." And of course, we grabbed like 4 candy bars and about 3 sodas and then headed back over there. Of course, we locked up the store good. And they mixed that snuff with that baking soda, and it drawed them stingers out. And so they made a mixture of that and put it on there. Mama's hands was swole up like double on top. And it took the stingers out. The next day, they made a paste and just covered Jay. And then Mama, when they went to bed at night, she was in there. And I remember her saying, "Daddy, it just hurts." And she said, "Jay, are you okay?" "Yeah." But the next day, the swelling went down because they made that paste and put on y'all. I said, "Well, I'll be darned. Learn something new every day."
Yeah, baking soda is good for spider bites too.
Yeah. So I remember Daddy sitting there at the table and him and Uncle Willie making that paste. to put on, y'all.
My daddy got bit by a brown recluse one time, and
Oh
that
my
was
God.
the nastiest looking shit on his foot. It was gross. It was like brown in a circle, and it got bigger. And we went to Hill Regional, and we were at the hospital. And granted, it's bad, but it's not life threatening or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some big fat dude that was all red holding his chest, and my dad's like, "Y'all could treat him first," and they're like, "No, he'll be fine." And my dad's like, "I think he's having a heart. What do you know? You're not a doctor." And we're like, "Well, he's like fat and holding his chest." And so we left Hill Regional, and it's like, moral of the story: just don't go there. Don't go there. We
Not
went
if you're
somewhere
dying.
else.
Don't go to Mahia Hospital if there's something wrong. Go on to Waco.
I don't know. When my dad lives in Marlin now, that Marlin hospital looked like it was abandoned. I didn't even know that was still open.
Is it?
Apparently so. That's what my stepmom said. It looked like it was like something out of a scary movie.
Yeah. There ain't much to Marlin, is there?
Not really.
You guys stick around, but I'm going to, I guess, sign off.
Well, he's gonna leave. Well, shit, it's your birthday party.
Yeah,
I'm
my
gonna
birthday.
go too.
But no, y'all hang on, hang in. But I
Well,
mean,
my
It's-
sinuses are screwed, y'all.
you know,
So
it's
What's
9
that Leslie Gore song? It's my party. Leave if I want to. Whatever it is.
But before I go, first of all, I want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight. I'm going to miss somebody. I'm sure, but Brutal, Texas, Thomas, Uncle Bill chimed in. We had CK came in here and said hello.
Mormo.
Cooler, Mormo, of course, Cooler Taste, Johnny's Boutique Podcast. I want to check you out. Of course, Thomas.
Me too.
Chris Dreyer, Darren spoke up from Wales, over there in Wales. Stephen, thank you everybody that's chimed in. I'm sorry if I missed you.
Yeah.
Please, if you're watching, please hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. And then spread the word if you're enjoying this.
Share the video. If the Jehovah Witnesses can knock on my damn door early in the morning in the heat, y'all can share the video.
There you go.
But yeah, thank you everyone that's tuned in on my birthday. 60 goddamn years. And yeah.
Boy, watch that curse.
It's G-O-T. Got down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go, guys, because my sinuses are acting up again. And
Okay,
I got to take medicine and try to actually
go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, Tim Curry Slow Gin. Do it right now. Slow Gin.
SLO.
SLO Gin. G-I-N. Slow
There you
Gin.
go. Well, good to see you again, Brandon.
Slowly.
I had to hop in.
Love you. Okay, guys. Yeah, we'll see y'all soon. And y'all keep tuning in. And y'all have a good